Hi, Ash. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Cedar. Nice to meet you too.
Thanks for joining today. In this session, we will focus on communication and teamwork. Can you share a real example where you worked closely with others on a project?
Sure. In my previous role, I worked as a back-end developer in a team of 5 engineers. We were building a new internal dashboard for the operations team. I was responsible for designing APIs and handling data processing logic. I worked closely with front-end developers to align on API contracts.
What kind of communication challenges did you face in that team?
At the beginning, requirements were not very clear. Some edge cases were not discussed in detail. This led to mismatches between front-end expectations and back-end responses.
How did you handle that situation?
I proposed writing simple API specifications and examples. We reviewed these specs together before implementation. This helped both sides understand the data flow more clearly.
How did the team respond to that approach?
The team responded very well. Front-end developers felt more confident integrating the APIs. We also reduced rework caused by unclear assumptions.
Looking back, what did you personally learn from that experience?
I learned that back-end developers need to communicate clearly, not just write code. Clear communication helps the whole team move faster and avoid unnecessary issues.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Now, I would like to learn more about how your team works on a daily basis. What development process does your team usually follow?
My team works in an agile environment. We mainly follow Scrum with fixed-length sprints.
Can you walk me through a typical sprint in your team?
Sure. We usually work in 2-week sprints. Each sprint starts with a sprint planning meeting. During planning, the product owner presents the prioritized backlog. The team discusses each user story and asks clarifying questions.
As a back-end developer, how do you contribute during sprint planning?
I focus on technical feasibility and back-end constraints. I help identify dependencies, edge cases, and potential performance concerns. I also break down back-end work into smaller tasks for better estimation.
How does the team stay aligned once the sprint has started?
We have daily stand-up meetings every morning. Each person shares what they worked on, what they plan to do next, and any blockers. This helps surface issues early and keeps everyone aligned.
What happens if you encounter a blocker during the sprint?
I usually raise it during the stand-up. If it is urgent, I also communicate directly with the relevant teammates. This helps resolve issues without waiting too long.
Do you have any other Scrum ceremonies?
Yes. We also have sprint reviews and retrospectives. In sprint reviews, we demo completed features to stakeholders. This allows us to get feedback early. In retrospectives, we discuss what went well and what can be improved.
How does this process benefit you and the team overall?
Scrum helps us stay organized and focused. It improves transparency and encourages continuous improvement. As a back-end developer, it helps me plan work better and collaborate more effectively.
Thank you for the detailed explanation. Previously, we talked about teamwork and team processes. Let's talk about how you learn and grow as a developer. As a back-end developer, how do you usually learn new technologies or concepts?
When I face something new, I usually start with official documentation. I try to understand the core concepts before jumping into implementation. I also look for small examples to see how things work in practice.
Can you share a real example where you had to learn something quickly?
Yes. In one project, we decided to introduce a message queue for background jobs. At that time, I had very limited experience with that technology.
How did you approach that situation?
I took ownership of researching different options. I built a small proof of concept to understand the trade-offs. After that, I shared my findings with the team.
What was the result of that work?
The team selected a solution that matched our requirements. I also documented the setup so others could use it later.
How do you usually handle mistakes or unexpected issues?
I try to be transparent and raise issues early. I focus on fixing the problem and learning from it. I also think about how to prevent similar issues in the future.
What motivates you to keep improving as a developer?
I enjoy solving real problems that impact users. I also like improving how I design and maintain back-end systems.
Thank you, Ash. We have discussed teamwork, processes, and how you approach learning. For our final part today, I'd like to understand your motivation and how you see your future growth.
Sure. As a back-end developer, I'm motivated by building systems that are reliable and easy for others to work with. I enjoy improving code quality over time. Not just delivering features, but making the system more maintainable for the whole team.
What usually keeps you engaged in a project long term?
Clear ownership and trust. When the team understands why we are building something and everyone feels responsible for the outcome, I tend to stay very engaged. I also value regular feedback, so I know whether my work is aligned with the team's expectations.
Before we wrap up, do you have any questions for us?
Yes. Could you share a bit about the current project the team is working on? Is the focus more on building new features or stabilizing and scaling an existing system?
It's a mix of both. We are adding new features while also refactoring parts of the backend to support growth.
How does the team usually make technical decisions? Is it mostly driven by senior engineers or discussed openly within the team?
We encourage open discussion. Anyone can propose an idea, and we review it together before deciding.
One last question from my side. Beyond technical skills, what makes someone successful on this team?
Good communication, ownership, and a willingness to learn.
Thanks for sharing. That aligns well with how I like to work.
Thank you, Ash. That's all the questions we have for today. We really appreciate your time and thoughtful answers.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was great speaking with you.